Is the way undertaking challenge number 9, procurement and tendering decision app. Our team GTW was led by our project manager Ellis, who organized our tasks, delivered an insight as to keywords on the keywords knowledge, as well as producing the reports. Manju and Angeliki assisted with the Power Apps production. I, Harold, and Abdullah and Stephen helped to collect all the data and combine to show the finished product, as well as completing the presentation. We were tasked with creating an app that provides the client with the most appropriate tendering and procurement route. A breakdown of our problems. As a client, I want an easy to use and clear app which tailors the most appropriate route for me so the process takes less time and can be performed without needing to contact a surveyor. As a QS, I want an app that would aid clients in making the best decision with regards to the most appropriate procurement and tendering routes so that we can save time, not repeat reports, and to ensure a consistent approach to the route choice. Complications include one, obtaining a report can be time consuming based on the meetings, setups, and the requirements to have all the right disciplines in the room. Two, there is a lack of an overview for the client. And three, the current process can take resources away from the business to focus on a slow manual process.
The Gleeds way, the client inputs data into the application, which provides two reports, one for the client and the other one for the QS. The current process is that the client appoints Gleeds for them to go through an exploratory phase where they discuss the project and the client requirements, and then Gleeds goes ahead and procures or goes ahead with a procurement workshop where they discuss the industry requirements, and that can take from anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months to finalize and produce a report. And the report explains the best procurement and tendering route the client is advised to go ahead with.
Used Power Apps to produce an app for the client to use. The front screen is a welcome page with the Gleeds logo on. The client presses begin. The next screen is a form for the client to complete. The drop-down options allow the client to populate these boxes. As you can see, they will populate one box, and on the other, only two options are available as one has been eliminated. The client will select the answer, and then the last choice is the last choice that's available. The answers the client gives are multiplied by the weightings Gleed gave to us. These are the weightings given by Gleeds. This produces a total for each of the procurement and tendering options shown in the SharePoint list. Once the client has submitted the form, the SharePoint list is generated. From this, you can see the total of the scores. The highest total of the procurement options and highest total of the tendering options is the best combination for the client's project. Given more time, as a next step, we would produce a report with the preferred combination for the client and also produce a more detailed report for Gleeds with all the information needed to follow that lead. This is the code we used in Power Apps to calculate the aggregated total for each procurement options and each tendering options.
Future expansion and vision. Linking past data from similar projects in a Power BI report and dashboard to show comparative data on time, quality, and cost. Have an interactive app that can connect QS and client instantly to receive and give live feedback. To schedule a meeting, workshop to further discuss strategy on chosen routes. Generate a completely explanatory report in place of the basic. Linking other matrix that might be important, such as sustainability, to try and work out whether other schemes, such as lead and room, are suitable, allow the client to input any specific technical requirements. Lessons learned and feedback. Don't overcomplicate the process. The report can be sent to users within a flow document and emailed directly to the client. We need a little bit more time and higher skill sets on the team to help with the more complicated skills they needed to produce the app.
If we had more time, we would have linked the final outcome, which would have been the recommended procurement route and tendering route, once the submit button was pressed, in order to generate a report that was sent to both the client and the quantity surveyor. We would test the app with the client input to ensure that the app was intuitive, user-friendly, and gave the client exactly the information that was required. We would have also linked in past data from similar projects in a Power BI report to show comparative data on time, cost, and quality from previous projects with similar metrics. The app would have also allowed the client an option to book in a meeting with leads once the recommended route had been selected. As mentioned previously, we would look to link in other metrics that may be more important to the client, such as sustainability, to try and work out whether other schemes such as LEAD or BREEAM would be suitable for the scheme, and allow the client to input any specific technical requirements that they may have. We originally decided the best way to tackle the project was on numerous different platforms, including Power BI, Excel, Microsoft Forms, and Power Apps. However, the different platforms made the process far too complicated, and as a team with no data scientists, this was vastly out of our skill set. So to simplify and tailor to our skills, we built the app using only Power Apps with an inbuilt SharePoint list which have a natural link and made the whole process smoother. Leads could use the inputted data from the potential clients to forecast and analyse the trends in procurement and tendering, as well as forecast trends in the market. They could also store all of the inputted data to create a dashboard and track the success of the projects. This data could then be used to make any necessary tweaks to the app and back up and demonstrate to potential clients why the particular tendering and procurement route has been chosen. The data would also be able to show if there were any unusual trends, i.e., if education projects using two-stage selective tendering doesn't seem to have a favourable outcome at the end of a project, they could use this metric in the app and recommendations so that two-stage tendering wouldn't be chosen for future education projects.